1 in 3 men are chemically castrated today, meaning that they can't have kids. That, when you take that away from a man, that's a big problem, okay? And this shouldn't even be happening, but it is. And I'm going to tell you why, okay? This is you, and there are many things that are affecting your capability of generating sperm that can get a female pregnant, okay? And this video is geared more towards men because women have their own hormonal issues that we got to talk about as well. But in today's video, we're going to be talking about why 1 in 3 men are shooting blanks left and right, okay? Because that's a big problem, and we're seeing it all throughout the world, okay? This is something, I have good news, okay? This is something that can be reversed naturally without the need for medical intervention or pharmaceutical intervention, okay? This problem can be alleviated if you follow what I'm about to tell you, okay? One of the things that are affecting men is what they eat, okay? You are what you eat, and that is very true, right? So what are you, a seed oil, right? So seed oils, and I should have done that in red, but it's okay. Seed oils are a large component to the American diet and a diet that a lot of the world eats. Seed oils like peanut oil, safflower oil, grapeseed oil, canola oil, soybean oil, the list goes on, right? We're talking about vegetable oils as well. Seed oils are extremely toxic for the human body, okay? We weren't meant to be eating seeds from the start. So imagine eating an oil, right? Imagine eating an oil which is thousands and thousands of seeds and seed material in liquid form, and you're drinking that stuff. This stuff will lower your testosterone because, let's face it, the number one reason why a lot of men are infertile is because their testosterone rates have been declining, right? A 30-year-old man today has the testosterone levels of a 50-year-old man in the early 2000s, okay? And that's a big problem because how are we going to advance as a civilization if we are not able to have children? How are men and women going to find purpose in their lives if they cannot have children, right? We're not living for ourselves. You know, that's a very unfulfilling life. So seed oils, the consumption of seed oils on a regular basis will lower testosterone. There's been studies that back that up, and will increase inflammation in the body, which will cause a whole variety of other health ailments, okay? So you will want to replace seed oils with animal fats and proteins. Animal nutrition is superior to plant foods. That's a fact. We were meant to consume meat. Okay? Anybody who tells you that we're predominantly omnivorous or, plant-based, they're full of themselves. Okay? Our brains doubled in size the moment that we started eating meat. So seed oils need to get out of your diet. You need to eliminate seed oils from your diet. Go for animal fats, beef tallow, butter, ghee, grass-fed, of course. Those are the kinds of fats that you want to be consuming. Those are the kinds of proteins that you want to be consuming. Check your ingredient labels. When you purchase food from the store, check for seed oils. There's a cool app called Seed Oils. There's a cool app called Ivy, and it'll allow you, the Ivy processed food app. They're one of my partners. If you download that app, you can scan for seed oils, and it'll tell you, what to avoid, okay? Next thing on the list is sleep. Sleep is probably one of the most important aspects that contribute to fertility or the lack thereof. So if you're not getting enough sleep every day, you're likely stressing your body out. Your body doesn't have time to calm down. Your central nervous system is constantly going haywire, and you're not able to relax and generate life through your testicles, right? You're not able to generate sperm, right? Sperm that's motile, sperm that is able to, to live, right? If you're not getting enough sleep, you're affecting that very function, right? So you need to find proper rest and relaxation so that you can generate enough testosterone, right, to produce sperm. This affects testosterone significantly. Sleep, if you're getting, poor sleep, I've worked with people that have, done everything that they were doing correctly, eating a clean diet, grounding, getting enough sunlight outside, all the things that I teach, but they weren't focused on their sleep. And what happens? They're not able to get the numbers that they want with testosterone in particular. So sleep is super crucial. I know you've heard it 1,000 times. It's not a magic pill. If you're having trouble sleeping, there could be other things in your life that, we could work on, but focus on getting enough sleep. Cut out the blue light at night. If you're getting, constant blue light exposure from your cell phone or from a TV, you want to put on some blue light blocking glasses from Raw Optics, or you'll want to use like a screen filter or something to block out that harmful blue light that's keeping you in that fight or flight mode. Okay. Another thing that I want to throw in here that's affecting your testosterone levels is birth control in the water. So I'm going to put water. So water, so if you're drinking tap water, you need to really look at what you're doing every day, right? Because, it's a well-known fact that tap water is not good for you, okay? There's a certain group of people that preach that tap water is totally fine, it's totally normal. The government would never, put toxic substances in water that you can drink. Yeah, keep believing that. Okay, that's why there's actual water testing and water reports that allows you to look at the amount of fluoride that's in the water, the amount of chlorine, the amount of chemicals that are in the water that affect your testosterone. There is birth control in the drinking water. There are so many people that, that take medication, and, a lot of these, byproducts, these estrogenic byproducts are, flooding into our water system, and they're not being cleaned out. So when you're drinking tap water, you're also drinking remnants of birth control, which are affecting your testosterone and are contributing to this very problem. So make sure that you're drinking either completely natural spring water like Mountain Valley, or anything that comes from a spring is way better than drinking your regular tap water. Of course, in glass, right? Avoid plastics at all costs. Okay, desperate times call for desperate measures. Or you can get yourself a reverse osmosis system like I do, right? It should run at about $300 to $400 at most. A countertop is the one that I use, and it filters almost everything out from your water. It's not going to be 100%, but it's going to get there. It's going to get you to, drinking a completely clean source of water. Okay, so make sure that you're watching what you drink. Okay. Another thing is, we're going to do a little symbol for this one, and that's sun. Okay. You're not getting enough sun. Okay. That's the fact. That's the cold hard fact. The cold hard fact is that you're probably not getting enough sunlight. Even though you think you are, I'm sure with confidence that if you're watching this video and you're struggling with a problem like this, or if you're trying to avoid a problem like this, that you're likely struggling with not getting enough sun every day. Okay? In order for you to feel your very best, your vitamin D levels need to be on point. Vitamin D is directly correlated with high testosterone levels, okay? People who have low vitamin D typically have low testosterone levels, or very subpar levels of testosterone. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure that you get full body sun exposure at least for an hour. Work your way up, right? Don't just dive outside and, start, sunning your nuts every day. That's not what I'm saying. But you're going to want to make sure, start off with 20 minutes, then 30 minutes the next day, then 40 minutes the next day. Allow your body to adapt if you're not used to that constant sun exposure. But first, you will want to fix your diet before you start to, really get that that much sunlight, because if you're a walking inflammation capsule, then, from your diet, if you're highly inflamed, I wouldn't suggest getting, unprotected sun. Okay. So make sure that if you have your diet tuned in, you get ample amounts of sunlight outside. Okay. And I'm talking about shirtless, I'm talking about, literally your undies, man. Like, there's no shame in that. Okay. So if you have some capability of fitting that into your lifestyle, this is a must if you want to boost your testosterone and if you don't want to become that statistic. Okay. And last one is plastics. All right. Look around you right now. There's a big chance that there's plastic sitting right next to you. You're probably looking at plastic right now. Your phone. There's plastic everywhere. Okay. This marker that I'm holding is plastic. This is plastic. A lot of things are plastic. I think this is plastic. The petroleum industry is one of the biggest leaps in terms of the Industrial Revolution, one of the biggest innovative pieces of material that has transformed our lives for the better and for the worse. So when you are exposed to plastics on a routine basis in terms of ingestion and topical application, you are likely going to have low testosterone, which is going to affect your fertility levels. Okay? Microplastics are directly correlated with low sperm count and decreased testosterone. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to conduct an audit of your lifestyle and your house and make sure that you're minimizing as many microplastics as possible. Do you keep your, do you microwave your food in a plastic container? Switch to glass. Do you drink from a plastic cup or mug? Switch to glass or stainless steel. Do you, sleep in polyester sheets? Polyester fabrics are made out of plastic. Where do you spend the majority of your night if you're getting proper sleep? In your bed. What are your sheets made out of? Have you looked into that? Polyester, probably. So you're going to want to avoid plastics as much as possible. There are so many other things in our environment that you might not even look at and be intentional about. And you're like, damn, that had plastic. Like, what the fuck? Like, you're going to want to look at and analyze your entire environment to minimize your microplastic load. Okay. So these are the top 5 things that I would focus on improving in your life to boost your testosterone and not become this 1 in 3 statistic, and so that you would be able to eventually have children. This is a problem that is so avoidable. It's so avoidable and so reversible that now is the time to take action. Okay. I help people with situations like these where they're trying to improve every aspect of their life, but they're not fully able to because they don't know where to even begin. If that's you, click the link in the description, book a one-on-one meeting with me. I'll get to know you, see if you're a good fit, for coaching, and then we'll go from there. But I look forward to seeing you, and I'll talk to you soon.